Hello, today I'm going to show you how I made one of the pop-ups in my book. The pop-up that I'm going to show you is from the page where the young leopard has gone back to his mom because he got quills in his hand from the hedgehog and he's really sad about it. So I wanted to show the action of his ears because he's sad about that, and then also to highlight his little paw with the quills. So and then on top it kind of represents the mom licking the top of his head because it pushes up a little bit. So here we go. I'm going to show you some of the materials that we need to make the pop-up, and I'm going to kind of show you where they come into play to make the action move. So first, I've sort of pre-cut these. We're going to be making a V-fold riser, a double V-fold riser. I'm actually making a triple V-fold riser, and the V-folds help with the pop-up mechanism. Here you can see the top V-fold. There's actually 3 V-folds underneath here. And then the riser part is, you can kind of see the 3 V-folds underneath. And then the paper that goes on top of them is the riser. And that is what the rest of the materials are adhered to. So I've cut out the V-folds here and made the tabs. And then here is the riser part that will go on top like that and have the action move the head. And then I also have these little triangles cut out, which I think we're going to have to size them down. But you can see that I use them in the paw here. It helps to push the paw up with the opposite fold there. And then there's also those triangles behind the ears to help them move. Okay, and that's it. Those are the mechanical parts that we need. We also need a bone folder, X-Acto knife, scissors, ruler, tacky glue, tape for placement of stuff before we glue it down. I typically kind of position it, and then also a pencil if we need to measure anything. The art that we need, this part is the part of his face in this V-fold. It's attached to this V-fold. So this will be for the real page. This is the mechanical, and we're going to make the real page today. So this is the part that will cover that V-fold and look nice. I need 3 different pieces for the head and other parts. So we have one head, and that is for the head, and specifically the head and just the tabs to wrap around the platform here to attach the head. A second piece of that same art, and that is for the ears that are going to move, as well as I'm going to try to make a double snout. So part of the snout will attach to the base and go one way, and then the top will pull the other way. Hopefully that'll work out. So to make the double snout, we need an extra piece for that. And then finally we'll need this full thing, and that is for the mom and the paw. So those are our pieces and parts, and I will show you the base page in a minute. Okay, so here is the modified base page for the pop-ups. I had to go in and change the art from the original art. As you can see, I kind of made little notes for myself, as well as where the text should fall. So I measured where the area of the text could go so it doesn't interfere with the pop-up. And I went back in and created a new base page with art that will look good as a final pop-up now. The first step that we need to do is to create all of the under part, the mechanical part, with the 3 V-folds and the riser. So that's the first part that we're going to do, and so I will do that next and then show you as we go how that looks. Okay, so I have my first V-fold, and I have already folded in a tab on here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue right along the tab edge here. Just make sure not to get too close to the fold here so that it doesn't get too sticky. So just put kind of the perfect balance of glue on there. And I'm going to adhere it to where I've measured. And it sticks flat down. And then in order to make sure it's in the right spot, we will fold it and press it to position it. Okay, so I glued along the tabs and positioned the tip of the V right where I had marked the 2.5 inches up from the bottom. And you have to make sure that the center folds line up between the center fold of the base page and the center fold of the V fold. And then you glue and press down the edges. And then to secure the fold in the right spot, you close it and press to adhere the glue and make sure it's positioned properly. And now when it opens up, we know that it's secure and it's in the right position. You can see that the folds are lining up between the base page and the V fold, so it will open and close properly. So the next step is to add the artwork over the top of this V fold so that it looks really nice and so it's sort of hidden. We only have to do this to the bottom V fold for our book, so that the other two will be covered up by the top art. But we need to match up that piece of art over the top of this V fold. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put the art over the top of the V fold so it's nice and hidden, so that when the page is opened up and the face is just coming down, we won't have white showing. It'll appear to be seamless with the existing base page art. The next step is to glue down the remaining 2 V folds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I've gone ahead and glued down the additional V folds for our pop-up structure. And you can see they're in place and they all work together really nicely. So the next step is to start building off of this. So we're going to attach our platform riser next. And before we do that, I'm going to glue the bottom of the snout in place so that it works with the bottom portion of the riser, and then the face will pop out the opposite way. So that is the next step. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have finished gluing the art to the V-fold platform. So I glued the bottom part of the snout that will fold one way while the face pops out the other way. And then I've also attached the mom to this piece. And so this will rise up while the face pops out. And the next step is to attach the platform to the V-folds, and I'm going to do this with little tabs that I've made. So I'm going to, glue one side of the tab to attach to the V-fold, and the other side of the tab will attach to the riser. And I'm going to attach it to these bottom 2 V-folds. So the V-fold platform has now been positioned and glued on. You see that it's all moving together. The next step is to add the front face on, and I will do that with a couple of tabs attached to the V-fold platform, and then it will glue to the face, on the side of the face. The face has been added. I put some tabs on the V-fold platform and attached the face, and now that part is done. The next step is to add the opposite folds up here, and then put the ears on so that they can move as the page opens. The ears have now been added. I put the mechanisms in. I'll show you those. You can see there, that's the mechanism to make the ear move. Same on this other side. You can see that one. And now the last step is to add the mechanism and the paw motion, which is going to go right under here. I have added the last piece with the jaguar's paw here. I attached it with an opposite action triangle, as well as a moving arm. If you can see that under there, the little moving arm piece is attached to the paw. So now when you close it up and open it, everything works. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed a behind the scenes look at creating the pop-ups for my book.